Dude, okay. So I was in Chicago last weekend,
Yes.
um, queuing up a few things for later in the episode. But I was staying with my best friend Mitch and his wife Sarah, and Sarah made a bunch of banana bread.
Oh,
And I don't know if you, first of all, what are your thoughts on banana bread?
I fucking love banana bread, dude.
Okay, good, good. So have you seen the video of your standard B2 battle droid, but it's taking the audio of the guy being like, "Dude, I had some banana bread at work
Oh, the
today.
banana bread at work guy.
Hell yeah."
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. My mom said if I wait, good things will come to me. And then I had banana bread at work today, dude. Hell yeah.
My favorite iteration of that is I saw someone, um, I don't know if it was a friendship bracelet or if it was like they just took
Oh
a
no,
whole
yeah, because
bunch of letters from like
they string out
Scrabble.
the whole thing.
Fucking
Oh
banana bread
man.
at work today, dude.
But
Hell yeah.
there's some bad things in this world, man. Like skunks. Hell no.
I fucking forgot about that video, dude. You know who that video reminds me of is Caden Clanderman.
Yeah, actually that makes a perfect
The dude in
sense.
that video, I think of Caden every single time.
Oh, I love that. I love that 100%. Also, that got me thinking about like old memes because I think it was like a Smosh video,
Yes?
but they had a podcast and one of the people didn't know the Harambe story. It was like last year, and they had
Last
to tell him
year.
about she's a chronically offline person, and they were like, "All right, we're gonna tell you about what happened at the Cincinnati Zoo like a decade ago," and she was like,
Oh.
"Is there like a protest or something I can go to?" And they're like, "It's gone, it's past. Like you missed the moment."
You've missed your time. Damn.
And I was like, dude, someday, like, trying to tell kids what Harambe meant to us, and I'm like, they're not gonna get it.
Imagine trying to explain what the hell COVID was to like our kids.
Or, dude, I don't know how much you remember it. It was like peak for me in middle school. Coney 2012.
See, that was a little ahead of my
I was
time.
like, I think it was a smidge before your time.
Yep.
I wish I still kept that shirt because those are like relics now. Like 80% of Bothwell got it, and then it was like a giant scam.
Yep.
Uh, but anyways, thinking about some of these like old internet things. We realized that we haven't given our stance on 100 guys versus a silverback gorilla yet.
Which, being a Guts podcast, we figured that we're just on Guts time
Oh, it's God's time.
to this
We're
internet trend.
fashionably late.
Fashionably late to this trend.
Like a month ago would have made way more sense to bring it up on the
Yeah,
podcast, but
but here we
that's
are
not
now.
how Guts players roll.
No. And Noah, I have a fun way to get this topic rolling if you'd hear me out. Waiting for a response.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah,
I
great.
thought you were just going right into it. We're locked today. We're doing great.
So I'm going to count down from 3. And so I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to say something, but I want you to say something at the same time. And wherever we stand on, you either say gorilla or humans, because I don't know what your stance is. I don't think you know
Yeah,
what my
we
stance
have
is.
actually never
Okay,
talked about
great. This is
this
perfect. So I'm going to
to
go
each other.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go 3, 2, 1, and then where you land on the spectrum, you say either gorilla or humans. Is that you get that? You following?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Humans.
Humans.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
So we agree.
Oh.
I think the bigger question is how many people die. Like it's morbid because like I'm at like we're losing like 60 dudes
At least,
but we're
yeah.
taking it. Like the gorilla's gonna get really tired.
Unbelievably
eventually.
tired. Yeah.
Like
we are losing people. The first
they are
wave
incredibly. Oh, they are. First 20 are just
of
goners.
those brave soldiers that paved the way for the rest of us, dead, gone. We're not seeing them ever
100.
again.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like gorillas aren't known for stamina. Like they're a very
No.
strong animal, but they don't have like crazy endurance.
No.
So it's like, dude, after you kill 60 guys, because also like the only way to really, with no tools, kill a silverback gorilla as a bunch of dudes is like you got to suffocate it. Like you just got to get bodies on that thing, and you're like, yeah, dead weight of guys that it ripped in half.
So my plan, in my head, you just take like 5 guys to a limb. You know, like you got 5 guys on the right arm. You got
genuinely. Do you think it's enough?
You got another line of Guts players on the left arm. and then like 5 more for each leg. Like
I think you get like 5 around the waist too
yeah,
in the
dude,
middle.
like that's just 5, 10.
You
That's
got
just
to get them to the
25
ground,
guys. That's only
right? And yeah,
1/4
you.
of the total amount of guys allocated
I
to
was gonna
this
say
challenge.
you average, just say like on average, dudes are weighing like 200 pounds,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, we're throwing like 20 tons at this gorilla, in just dude, like,
Yeah,
and again, that's 25 guys. We've got 4 attempts at this, and every attempt it gets easier.
yes, because yeah. So you don't want to be the first wave.
He's tired. Like, there's
He,
some guys. I think like the third group would figure it out.
yes.
Now I have to say, if we have no prep time and a bunch like 100 guys who have never had a conversation about this, like wake up and there's just a gorilla staring at them, and they're like, "You have 10 seconds," and the gorilla's gonna go nuts. I'm like, okay, we have much worse chances with no time to
Yeah,
coordinate, because there's gonna be like 20 guys who are like, "I'm gonna go hide in the corner,"
fact.
and then there's gonna be like 10 dudes who think they're Rambo and are like, "We can take a gorilla," and you're like, "Okay, well they're uselessly dead. Like he's barely gonna even get tired."
Yeah. So you need teamwork. You need teamwork.
Yeah,
Otherwise it's not
I
going to
do
work.
think eventually, like, it's unfair to the gorilla, because even if the gorilla wins, like, nothing humane's gonna happen to the gorilla. Like, it's in a lose-lose situation.
You've thought about this much more. I didn't even think to think past this gladiator
The
combat
moment.
scene that's happening. Could you imagine filling a coliseum and releasing 100 gladiators and a
Okay,
gorilla?
hang on. I just thought about possibly a morbid twist.
Oh no. See, you're already thinking
What if
much
one of the
more.
100 had to be the kid that caused Harambe to die,
Oh,
and the other 99 guys, to honor Harambe, step out of the way so he can 1v1 the silverback gorilla as an adult? Just like, hey, this one's for Harambe, bud.
oh
You gotta
no.
you gotta solo this gorilla.
The viewers that this would do numbers on ESPN. No one has ever seen anything like this before, ever.
Someone is like, wait, I could make so much. Like, get like WWE in on this. I feel like that's their market. Like, put that on like TNT or
True.
wherever wrestling goes.
Yeah. Pat McAfee would eat this up for sure.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Barstool would go nuts. Yeah.
Have they done like simulations for this?
I hope so. Someone smart sure would have. I would assume.
Because
I
I
don't
know,
know. I
like,
have no idea.
the problematic thing is, like, I know Mr. Beaks jokingly was like, I'm throwing some money together to do this. And it's like, no, Jimmy, we can't actually kill people because of a gorilla. Like, there is a limit
Yeah, we can't actually
to
do
like
that.
this is a funny joke. But no, I do think humans would come out on top
I do too. But
eventually.
I've also watched Star Wars and the
Okay,
whole like
honestly,
separatist thing was overwhelmed by force.
yeah, but in my brain, I'm like, okay, so a gorilla's pretty close to a Wookiee. And
Fact.
like the Wookiees get
Truth.
enslaved by like 10 guys.
That's true.
Like, so
That's
I
also
think
true.
what's really true is that I think that they are incorrectly saying how strong a Wookiee should be,
But
not gorillas or chumps.
he can rip arms off a Gundam,
Yeah,
dude.
and I was like, okay, then he probably needs a few more guys to take him down
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But we both agree the humans eventually coming out on
eventually.
top. And
Yeah.
if you think otherwise, the official stance of this podcast, you're a chump. You're an absolute bum. You have caveman brain. That gorilla is not coming out on top.
I'm reminded, and I don't, we haven't done it in a minute, and I'm sure it's going to come back at Wisco, that we had like 2 months where we would just make ape noises at each other at frisbee tournaments.
Yes, that will come back. That
I
will.
was like, I'm sure, like 2 minutes on the line, it'll just be some really aggressive guttural noises.
If you see Noah or I on the line, you come up to us and go, "Hoo, hoo, 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 hoo." Yeah,
It will
it'll.
be responded.
Yeah, you will get a call back. Speaking of guts, do you want to get into it? We've got some.
Yeah, let's get into actual something that has value to be
Yes.
spoken into the world, which I don't think any of this podcast has so far.
No, none. So something happened over the weekend. Noah, what happened over the weekend?
Yeah, this was I have
Before I cut to our
no
scene.
idea if we do annual or not for Global Guts Day, but Global Guts Day happened on Sunday. Well, this whole weekend, all of the events in the U.S. were on Sunday that I know of. I think we had four spots that had frisbee being played. And I did the math. We had, from my count from the pictures that we'll look at in a second, I had 26 or around 26 players in Marquette with some spectators as well. I had 17 in Lansing. We had seven of us in the Chicago area in LaGrange, Illinois, and then another 16 in the Keweenaw for a total of 66 players that I counted. And there might be give or take a few, and then obviously some spectators as well.
That's
Um,
fucking nails, dude. That's so awesome.
I know I was thinking about that, and I like where Global Guts Day could go going forward, and because there have been some years where like we're really good at connecting with the international community for it. And kind of getting like a bigger global celebration to it as the name evokes. Like I know Ryan Scott mentioned that at one point like four other countries were celebrating Global Guts Day. And I'm like, dude, that's what I wanted is like be able to see clips from everywhere. And then every year we put together a video of like, hey, this is our guts community. And that can almost be the timestamp of like, well, let's look at Global Guts Day 2025 and compare it to Global Guts Day 2035. And hopefully it's like, hey, look, we've added four more countries and all of these new players. And look at these people who have stuck around through all that time. It's almost like a time capsule moment of like, yeah, let's take like everyone get a picture. Let's get some like videos together from all the Global Guts Days. Let's compile them together and like actually bring together some content from this like global thing. But how was your Global Guts Day experience
I had a
being in the
blast.
most populous of Global Guts
Yes,
events?
yes, it was. It was great. We had a great turnout. The best bit is there was no fucking wind until like when I had to leave, which unfortunately was before the end, and I'll get into that in a second, I guess. But like the weather was terrific. The turnout was great. We had pizza provided. The vibes were high. We had a little. We played a little mini hat tournament, which I'll discuss more because there's a picture of the winning team. I'm assuming. I don't think.
I
Oh yeah,
believe
the
it was
winning
the winning
team is
team.
shown. Yes. Okay. So yeah, but I guess we can get there right now. I had a blast. So Noah, this is your group. This looks familiar.
Yeah, so this was us in Chicago. Thank you for the zoom in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not wearing my glasses, and it is just far enough away. So obviously we got me on the right end there, and we've got both Dave and Kevin O'Malley, his son. Which, dude, I gotta say, Kevin's hands are getting ridiculously good.
Hell yeah.
Like Kev begged Connor and I like legitimately 10 to 15 times.
That's
Just
fucking
ate
awesome.
everything up. And it was like, dude, when did your hands get so good, man? Like just a wall.
That's fucking awesome.
And then we've got, I apologize that I don't remember everyone's name. I think Mitch is my best friend in the red shirt, which we will come back to in a second. This was his first ever actual guts practice. Like
Shit.
we threw like a couple times in college,
Yeah.
like a soccer net, and like a little bit of hot boxing, but pretty much nothing. But he was the classic tried it like 5 years ago. Time before that we tried to play.
Whoa.
So nothing happened.
Not a damn
Uh,
thing happened.
no,
We're still here.
clearly, yeah, everything's been perfect. I mean, I think it's the fact that there's just random shirts in your background, like threw the whole thing off.
You see, who is that? Who is this? Is that, oh, that's, Larkin I got, not that
Oh,
long
good old
ago.
little D-Boss jersey
Along with,
action there.
you ready for this? I don't know if I found, someone in my family found a Fedorov jersey at, like, Goodwill, dude.
Oh, that
You know
thing's
how
probably
sick of a find that
nasty.
is? How sick
That's
of a find that
unreal.
is? Yeah.
Because also it's a Fedorov jersey that you probably got for like $15
No, much less than that.
for like $5.
Unbelievable, dude. Anyways,
That's crazy. All right, so back to what we were talking about.
yeah, the internet
Chicago
definitely
Guts
didn't
crew.
have a spike or
We got
anything.
Connor Steer
That's
in the
yeah.
middle. We got Kevin's two friends, Will, and I apologize that I don't remember the other guy's name in the Bears shirt, which is a great shirt. And then my buddy Mitch. So that was the Chicago crew. Funnily enough, we actually played right next to like an ultimate group that plays every Sunday.
Hell yeah.
It was like Masters Division Ultimate.
Sick.
Dude, their inline route running, like low key crazy.
It couldn't be
And
me.
I was
I
like,
was a
we were
handler
sitting
for a
there.
reason.
I know we were sitting there, and I was like, Will all the way on the left end there. He and I were chatting up. I don't know if he like just knows a lot about Ultimate or if he played in college or something. We didn't get that deep into it, but I was like, it's kind of nice because they're like not running like a pure vert stack or anything, but you can see that like once they get a good cut, they like follow it. Like I watched like a 6 forehand succession down the line into just a huck
Hell
that
yeah.
some dude in his 50s ran down, and I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
yeah, man.
That's nails. I love
And then
that.
that moment I looked and I was like, dude, I think they're running a horizontal stack because that's what you do as an old person.
Yes, you do not run vert as
No,
you
I
do
was like,
not zipper a vert
no, I
as
was like, dude,
50
they're like
plus.
two people who want to cut anymore. Like their poor knees.
No, you aren't coming out of the back of the stack and choosing whether to cut up the field or down the field as a 50
No,
year
it's
old.
kind of like it's a little bit more like the Russian weave from hockey.
That's
Some
exactly
nice
what they were playing.
gentle loops that don't involve hard cuts on your knees.
That's exactly what they were playing. All right, next, this is the Kimono. The
Yeah,
lads.
you will see
The
a
fucking
lot of the
gang.
Bot Boys, a
Oh,
lot of the
yeah.
Monty fellas in there, some of the old guard, Stooge, Ronnie, Burhead,
Yeah, this is a
the
crew.
one, the only Steve Stukel,
Yeah.
who I think is required to take second place in in the Kiwana Classic. Like Adam took second with him twice. I took second with him the first year I played. I think Luke's lost the finals with him. Like man
Steve
just
gets it
gets to
done.
that finals.
Steve gets it done. Gets to the
He gets
finals.
there at least.
That's so sick. Yeah, I mean,
But
this
yeah,
is
bunch of beauties.
love every single one of the people in this picture. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's a great turnout. That's a terrific turnout.
And then next we should have
Oh
is
yeah.
it you
Here's market.
guys?
Yep, this is us first. Here we go. We'll zoom in. That's as far as I'm gonna be able to zoom.
Dude, I love the fact that Marquette still has like 4 or 5 guys who just come out and are like, "We'll have some beers and watch frisbee."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was great. It was really good. We had a terrific turnout. Just about everyone. Mick didn't play. Obviously, shut up Mick Sites, but he's there. He was retrieving disc,
A legend.
taking pictures, videos, beauty. Curdy obviously was there. Um, and also this kid Landon. He's new. I think he. Oh, what the fuck? Okay,
Okay, this time
all
for
right.
sure nothing
Okay,
happened.
so this time I can actually confirm not a damn thing. We didn't go anywhere. Nothing happened. There wasn't
No,
definitely just a hard cut that happened
yeah,
right
Braden
there.
didn't just go into pure darkness for a second.
No, my
That's
Wi-Fi did not just cut out. Dude, today
believe
we
me.
can't. We just can't record past like 9 p.m. apparently.
It's telling us that we need to do early recordings is
Yeah,
what it is.
fucking hell. Like Saturday morning or something.
Yeah. Okay, but back at it
Anyways,
before we probably have more issue.
Marquette was great. Um, like I said, phenomenal turnout. Really good group of people. And we'll touch on Lansing because they're next. Nice and
Oh,
zoomed
look at those
in.
legends.
Nice and zoomed in.
Shout out to our boy Dan on the left side
Yeah, what up?
playing with us in Wisco.
What up, Dan?
Also, I can't see the full Marty Gray hiding behind Bryce, and I think it's Tony right there.
Yeah.
But man looks ready to just be a rock star of frisbee.
Yeah, it's the headband and Ray-Ban aviators for me. And there's a couple names and
Dad,
faces.
I don't.
Yeah. There's a couple names and faces I don't know, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think. Are you referring to Johnny Hopkins next to Travis, holding down the diversity card in Guts Frisbee for many a year?
Yes, he is one of them.
Dude, he's one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. I hope
I
he
don't
makes it to a
know
tournament this
I
year.
don't know if I've met him.
He's only played like I've only played in a tournament against him like 3 times maybe.
Okay.
Like he played a lot more like right before I started playing.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
is still around every once in a while.
Sick.
Also, Ian just hugging Dan's leg
Oh,
makes me laugh. So
this might be whatever's going on over here might be the best thing in this photo.
also, there's 3 Dans in this picture.
Okay, yeah.
We,
Yes, there are.
we are just we are hitting our Dan quota for the because I'm trying to think if there's 5 in frisbee. I think there are. I'm just trying to think
Can
of
we
the all
make an
Dan
all
team.
Dan? Well, yeah, your dad.
Yeah, My dad makes 4. I feel like I miss. Oh, Dan Leach was the other one. I think
Oh,
at this point he's retired, but
well, he would come out of retirement for an all-Dan team. Come
dude,
on
for
now.
the all Dan team,
Hell yeah.
five Ds.
The five Ds, dude. And then this was the hat tournament winning team. So this was my team. I had to
I was
leave
gonna say,
early. We started late
which is
because
sadness.
guts event
Guts.
not
Yeah,
starting on time. Um, and then I had to
and you did
leave.
well.
We did, yeah, I know. So we actually played kind of. We didn't do great in the round robin. Not that we played bad, but we didn't do great. And
You
then
appropriately sandbagged.
yes, yep. And then we had pizza, and then I stayed for the first game. So two teams had a bye. We played. Who was on the team? Trent Smith, Jenny, Landon, um, Lucas, which funny enough, I think just replaced me after I left because I think it just got to a point where, um, like a couple people were just thrown into teams that were still around because people had to leave because it was
Right.
getting
I was gonna
late.
say, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I watched a little bit of the finals, and like Jenny was in the finals
Yes. Yeah. That is
to
correct.
for
Yep.
the other team
Yep.
that ended
I
up
feel bad.
not winning the finals.
I feel bad. I can't. Was it Josh? It might have been Josh Scanlon. Could have been. I don't know. Anyways, but so then I had to leave, and they obviously clearly won whoever they played next, and then made it to the finals. So shout out fucking Team 3 holding it down. And I suppose from left to right, Lucas, except he wasn't on the team the whole day. The rest of the squad was the same. We had the big cat, Carson Hayes, Catboy.
Big cat.
Yeah, dude. He played really fucking good. He had a good day. Bick, steady as a rock, dude. You know Kevin.
Dude,
You know
as
what you're getting.
always.
You know what you're getting with Kevin, and it's really nice. Rachel was fucking nails all day. Hogan, I mean, just like look at the hair, dude. He's nails.
Dude,
Um,
I'm just curious the world where they were like, yeah, Braden Hogan's fine on a team together.
well, we originally had Justin. We didn't
With you
have
two?
Rachel. Yeah, the original team was well. So Carson came late. So the
Okay.
original four was me, JV, Hogan, and Kevin. And Luke was like, maybe we don't do that. So there was a trade, like whoever's Rachel's team was on, like
I was gonna
they
say,
swapped. Yeah.
how did you guys come up with like who was on what team? Because like we had 7,
Yeah, that made it
and
pretty
like
easy,
we
hey.
basically did like, why don't Connor and I go on different teams, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
And that worked out pretty good.
So instead of just flipping, Luke Lotnan, who did a great job organizing and essentially running the whole thing, terrific. Shout out to the Lotnans as per usual, holding it down, legends.
Doing great work as
Um,
always.
yeah. Um, he essentially just put everyone's names into like a random team assignment. I don't know, like he put names into a program and they spit out onto different teams.
Gotcha.
And that's how. So instead of, I mean, we could have just flipped and that would have taken less time. But whatever, we got where
Yeah,
we yeah whatever. It was great. Luke did a
yeah.
great job. Team three.
Aside on this, I'm big on the bucket format. I play a lot of volleyball blind draws, and so like there's 6 positions. So like these tournaments, like the setters will be like the impromptu team captains, but it's like, okay, then you literally go like, here are all of my ones, twos, threes, four, fives.
Oh sure, yeah.
And I was like, I was just curious if that was the like, all right, we're gonna do 6 teams. We like here's the superstar bucket. We got our 6 best players in this first bucket. Let's disperse them evenly. Then let's take the next 6 and
Gotcha.
like let's disperse them that way, trying to even teams out. Or if it was just like, let's go completely random and then see what it looks like from there.
Yeah, that's essentially what it was. We just went random and then made
Dude, can you
adjustments where
imagine if
needed.
it was like you, Hogan, Lucas, like Bert and Max, and you're like totally fair.
We're
I
like,
don't
yeah,
know what you're
whatever.
talking
We can,
about.
yeah, we can keep this. That's fine. It's whatever. I think that actually might have been the random generator did a good job. I think that was the only change we made, if I'm remembering correctly.
Shout out.
Because I was sat next to Lottie when like he pressed like fire, you know, and I think that was it. I think that was the only change we made. Which great. We had a great
Did
day.
you
Weather was
did you
perfect.
tell him Yogg Champ when he hit randomize?
No, no, I did not. I have been out of the Yogg Champ game for a long time now.
Which for the one person who isn't Luke McCarthy who might get that reference, just us dating ourselves to like 2016 Hearthstone
Oh my god.
memes.
Yeah, that's been out of my
Uh,
system for a while now.
Yeah, all right, so we've got one more global gut state thing to touch on real quick.
And it's a really sick video.
Which was a video from when we were playing.
I wonder if I
Uh
zoom in if it'll fuck up the. No, it doesn't. Okay, sick.
okay, well, let's watch it one more time.
Yeah,
So
talk me through
this is
this.
like
Oh, I
a
have to
little over
zoom out. So
an hour into Mitch's first practice. Um I don't know if I've ever seen a catch like this before.
go on.
Like a little
Ooh.
critique. He didn't quite approach catching the frisbee the right way. Like,
Well,
gotta keep
let's
those
get
palms
there
to the
first.
sky.
Yeah, but also that's at that weird. Can I get it in the
That
frame?
weird cross, but like he's a tall man. He can get up there, but not a bad hand.
No,
Like saw a
that
lot
looks
of backhands coming in,
that looks real center of palm to me.
real solid. So like he was tracking the disc pretty well
Yep.
once he started to figure it out.
And then it went
But
up.
the up of just sat on his like I was ready to chase that thing down, and then I was like, oh, is it gonna fall off like his back? And then just to watch the frisbee just it caught the brim of his hat. Like I can guarantee you
zoom in
that
on
because
that?
I was
No, I can't.
reading the track behind it, and then it just. I've never seen this before. Like I've seen the occasional like on the head, but it just literally froze and then slid off for the easiest catch of an up.
That's so sick.
Just like it looks like he was like totally planned.
Yeah,
that whole
meant to
thing.
do it. All right, let's watch fully again.
One more time. Just
Also the awareness to just like stand still
casually like
because it's
lean
on my
forward a little
head.
bit. Yeah, I was like, there's some potential there.
Hell yeah.
Now he is the classic. Cannot use his left.
No, is that so?
Just
He's
it's all
following
right.
everything with
It's
the
all
right. Yeah.
right hand tracking.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like your buddy Brad, who's going to be playing with him. Who not to get confused with Brad Seaborg. We're just going to call Blad from now on.
Blad, the element, Brad Seaborg.
But not the element, but rookie Brad.
Yep.
Same thing of like everything is just like right hand's chasing it across your body. So like at Guts Camp, Poole literally just threw in his left hand every single time he had the shot against him all weekend, and he's like, "Thank you," and he's like, "Dude, figure out how to use your left."
Yeah.
And then we like one disc came in his left, and he put his left hand behind his back and tracked it with his right. And I was like, Brad, opposite. Put your right hand behind your back, so you have to use your left too. That'll be the biggest thing I think when we're warming up with him at Wisco is like peppering just everything in his left hand.
Left hand, glove side. I'll keep that in mind.
Just let's really get that in there. But yeah, that was super cool. Also, like finally getting my best friend to like play frisbee after trying to slowly wear him down for years is like super exciting for me.
Yeah, that's sick. That's awesome.
But yeah, let's we've kind of teased around Wisco enough. I think let's get into the actual
it's time.
The preview.
It's time, dude. The first major of the year is around the corner.
Yeah, we're recording on a Monday night, which clearly the gods of frisbee don't like this recording time.
What are you talking about? We haven't had to start 3 separate times.
I mean,
now.
Nothing's happened.
Happened.
We haven't cut several times in this episode.
Braden's gonna have to splice videos together. That's crazy.
But we are 5 days away from the first major of the year.
Yeah. When you're hearing this, hopefully
too many times
is the drive to Wisco. I hope you're listening to this in the car.
So that's the thing. Watch it Thursday when it comes out.
Yeah.
As always.
Yep.
Shout out all of our great fans and friends who do that.
All 60 of you.
Hey, we got it. Connor's supporters showed up.
Yeah, he did. Yes, they did. Shout out.
Over like 120 something views in like the first 4 days.
Also, shout out Connor Steer. We had a blast. That was a blast.
Absolute beauty.
Yeah.
But watch it a second time. Like, nah, man, get all the guts carpool, throw on the pod, and then you guys can just have the live feedback with each other.
Hell yeah.
Have the real discussion about who you think is going to win between 100 dudes and an ape.
Rehash that conversation.
Or the real question is, if we can let Al Nettle be on the 100 humans, like how many humans do we actually need? Is it like 50? Like, does Al count for
with
the other
Al
50?
Nettle on the team? It's good. It goes down drastically. We don't need.
Yeah, especially
anymore.
dude, he's got like new dad strength.
Yep.
Like, all right, but let's get into it.
Let's fucking get into it.
Dude, first of all, what's a flip and dip?
What is a flip and dip? I don't know. How did this even start? Was it Max?
It was Max.
Okay, yeah.
The flip expert himself.
Yeah, flip and dip. I don't know, dude. Flip and dip. it was like we didn't know if we were gonna be dragons or something else still, and Max just said, "Fuck it, how about flip and dip?" And I think the group chat was just like,
Oh,
"Yeah,
that's it.
all right,
Yep.
great."
And then the more we thought about it, of instead of like throw and go, like anytime we pull someone they have to throw, be like, well, you got to throw a flipper,
Yeah, you
just
have
so
to.
we can be like, hey, he's gonna flip and dip. Just it
Which that's
looks.
gonna be rare to begin with, because I
Oh,
feel like
dude.
I don't see throw and goes. I mean, they happen, but it's not like
Yeah,
it's
but
every
it's
game.
dude. I remember it happened at Bay Cliff, and having to describe to seventh graders of like, here's this really
Yeah,
obscure
dude.
rule that we have called throw and go.
This kid that got domed in the face and it needs to go see
Yeah,
the aide
yeah, because he is bleeding.
is
It'd be like,
going to
so
flip and
you
dip.
you got to throw first, bud. Like, no, you gotta toss the frisbee, and then you can you can leave.
Your glasses are broken and your nose is bleeding. You need to throw this fucking frisbee first, and
Well,
then you
throw
can
first,
go.
because otherwise, like, they get to pick like an inverse dump who throws, and like
Yeah,
that's not
and
good.
then that just doesn't work.
Um, but yeah, so for the full squad, obviously Braden and I, Luke McCarthy,
Yep.
and then Bert and Max are joining us, and then our buddy Dan Hill when we shouted
Dan,
out from the Lansing tournament.
Dan, nails, dude. There's a lot of goalies on that team.
Yeah, we are at four.
That's 4 goalies on that team.
Four goalies and a Bert. Who in
Oh,
my
and
head, like,
it was Max's birthday on Global Guts Day. Shout out Max
it was
Moranis.
Max's
Yep.
birthday.
So
Yeah,
that was a
which would have been
blast.
yesterday.
Yeah. So the whole
Um,
running joke was, oh wow, it's really nice of all of us to get together like this for Max's birthday.
but yeah, if you see some finely dressed gentlemen, like we're ready for a day out on the
Yeah.
course.
Do you want to talk about our apparel quick?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna spoil it before the tournament, but we did get a caddy bib that says flip and dip on it on the back for our sixth man, so that he can, give us the reads before each shot, like really lean into it more on Saturday. But we're going full golf attire Saturday,
Yep.
shirt tuck and everything. Get
Oh, are
that
you
polo
doing
out.
a belt as well? Like, are you doing full?
I don't think I can wear the belt. I might dive on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my like one concern with the belt. I think I might go no belt, but I'll bring a belt just in case.
Maybe like an athletic stretchy belt, something that doesn't have a metal
Yeah, I'm
buckle.
just concerned with like metal buckle
Yeah, that
and
does sound painful.
any dive. And then Sunday we're bringing out the Sunday pinks
Yeah, we got
on
Sunday
the
pink,
on the
baby.
polos. It's gonna be legendary.
Yeah, it would
I
be sick.
also
Like, fucking
I need
sick.
to remember to bring it. Oh no, because you guys are going golfing Friday, right?
Yes, yes,
When we
we
get to
are.
Wisco, I was gonna
Yep.
say I'm gonna miss it because I've got a work golf outing Friday morning.
Ah,
Which is the other thing. The 2 days before Wisco, I have work paid golf outings, and
oh,
the Monday after Wisco is our company holiday, and we go golfing every year.
wow. Your
So
body, it doesn't hurt until Monday, dude. You're gonna be golfing Monday.
no, dude. The problem is it happens every year, and on Monday I'm like I can't swing on the back nine.
No.
Like my arm hurts so much. If I was a righty, I'd be screwed. Like the fact that I
Yes.
golf left-handed, because that like the times I get elbow tendonitis in my right arm, if I had to try and have that be like my back arm in golf the next day, I'd be like, I can't do it.
Yeah. And you
But
hula hoop differently on each.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, those hips
But
swivel.
my hula hoops are good for my backhand.
Yes, that is true. Yes. Anyways,
Yeah.
so we're
But
gonna have fun. Flip and dip, baby.
yeah, we need to bring a tee. I think that's how we decide on Saturday who gets the dump shot. Is we just all stand out of the circle and then do the
And
good,
flip
just
the
little
flip
little
the
tee
tee.
flip. Just all right. Who's throwing the dump
Who's
shot
throwing
today?
this? What if it lands on the caddy? What is that just dealer's choice then? Do they just get
That
to
is
choose? Okay,
well,
all right, all right.
well, the caddy gets to make the what club are we pulling?
Yeah,
Like
okay, great.
we're just gonna listen to that advice.
What if the caddy it lands on the caddy, they get to choose the player and the shot they throw back.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Also, I think instead of every time we offer, instead of flipping the disc, be like, hey, if we want to
Flip
just
the
give the
tee.
T a little toss and see who gets to choose. Like
That's
little
awesome.
eeny meeny miny mo on that one.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so that'll be our squad for Wisco. Obviously, we are buzzing is like an understatement right
Oh,
now. Like
everyone on this team is so high in terms of like energy, and we're ready to fucking go, dude.
also, this is like the first ever Wisco where I feel like we are all feeling like we are in frisbee form, and not just
Yeah.
like our team, but just across the board the amount of
Yeah.
frisbee that we play now before Wisconsin, which is great. Like I love the season extending, but it's like between the dome tournament in March and then like you guys being able to practice in the gym all winter and like being able to get outside the 2 weeks that I was home and like
Yep.
Guts Camp prepping me, I was like, dude, we're like everyone feels like they're in season form versus the vintage Wisco of like I have thrown 5 frisbees since January 1st, and none of them have been thrown at me. Let's walk onto the line at Wisco and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yes. There's gonna be some really high end frisbee being played
Yeah, and
for the
I think it's
first
going to
term of the year.
be. Wisco always gets there. Like by Sunday,
Oh
everyone's kind of
well,
like locked
yeah.
in and back in
Yep.
form. But like, just genuinely being honest, sometimes pools games get a little sloppy. Like I don't know if you remember, we beat Bop Saturday morning, like 22-20. It was the first game of the day at Wisco like 3 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
And everyone was throwing 80% backhands, and the game took 50 minutes. Because, like, we all could catch everything, but everyone was like, dude, we are not ready to throw real shots. Like, we're
No.
easing into it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, yeah, none of us are, like, prepared for this. Because it was one of those games where, like, we just rode Luke's two finger because he could just throw it at 100%.
Hell yeah.
And so it's like, it was even one of those tournaments where, like, Will Blau was starting the weekend with a backhand,
Wow.
which isn't slow by any means. Like,
No.
it's a pretty good shot, but compared to what we're used to from Will, it was like, oh, this is catchable. Like Carter was throwing a backhand, Steve-O was throwing his backhand, like Al wasn't turning around for any of his shots, and it was like, guys, can someone like just suck or dump or
Speak
throw a real shot?
Speaking of that, I think that's a great transition into the first team we're going to talk about, and that's the Bottle Shop, the Shottle Bop,
Dude,
back to back
scary.
defending
Yeah,
champions,
already
2024 champ, 2023 champ.
yeah, already going for the three-peat at this
Nuts.
tournament. With slightly their roster's changed a little bit. Obviously, Core Pop's been there the whole time, but like Connor Steer played with him 2023. He played great in that finals. I was rewatching a little bit of that the last week,
Yep.
and obviously we're talking to Connor about it. And then last year with some of the new Kiwanon fusion, like I think both Hans and J Man were on that team. Um,
Yeah, you might be
that
right.
one last year.
Yep.
But this year, honestly, I feel like might be one of the scariest Bop rosters I've
Yeah,
seen.
fire me through the names.
Yep. So we've got your usual suspects. So you've got both Nettles,
Nails.
Alan Carter.
Yep.
You've got obviously Will as the captain
Nails.
and the anchor. Steve-O's going to be there. Didn't think
Fucking
Steve-O was going to be there.
nails.
Just fresh new dad strength, which
Yeah,
is terrifying.
he threw gas anyways. We're not
Yep.
seeing a frisbee from Steve-O
And
this whole
then
weekend.
their recent years, their anchors at the 5 and the first guy off the bench with
Kyle nails.
and Juice as
Nails.
always.
Fucking nails.
And then they decided that they just wanted a little more firepower, so they picked up Capo
nails.
just to be their fifth on Sunday to throw absolute rockets on the
Oh.
back end.
I love that team so much. I don't love that we're gonna have to play them eventually at some point. I love
Dude,
everyone on that team.
but it's going back to that iron sharpens iron
Yeah.
with Connor. Like I first looked at their roster and I was like, that's really scary and terrifying. And then I was like, wait, dude, that's so exciting. Like
yeah, dude.
we get to like hopefully we play that several times, whether that's in an ideal world winners bracket finals and then actual finals. But like
That'd be sick.
we're gonna like the goal is to run into that team on Sunday, and also like it can't be overstated that like our Wolfpack core like kryptonite has been Bop for 6 years. Like they have been the Appleton to our O'Malley's is like a classic example of that. I know Will talked about it before, Walden, of like that's how we felt with like Worms, like Wolfpack's been their bracket demon for multiple tournaments, and it's like, yep, we like
Yeah.
Bop's gonna be at their best, and it's gonna be a fun challenge to try and like
Yeah.
finally beat them when it matters in a tournament.
Yeah. But I fucking love every single one of those guys. It's hard because like obviously we want to beat them. Like when we play them, I want to beat them, right? But like off the field, I fucking love every single one of those dudes.
Well, that's what makes like playing them so much fun. Like we've done it so much too.
Yeah.
Of like, it almost isn't even like because I know Connor talked about like the Bop experience is a pretty wild one but like they're a team that can certainly ride off of the emotions of the game.
Mhm.
And our
Yes.
team, like, we don't do that as much.
Yeah.
Like, Cam always talks about it, like, it's a little bit more of like a workplace mentality for us.
Mhm.
Of like, that's just we want to be more level, and it's just what works better for our team. But that dichotomy when we play Bop of like they're trying to look for something for us to like get them emotionally going, and it's like sometimes it works and we're screwed.
Yep.
like
Right.
like Bop turns on and then you're like every shot, even your best shot, gets caught,
Yep.
and you're like, I didn't even know what
And
happened.
you're like, God fucking damn it,
But
these guys.
otherwise, that moment of like you haven't heard a Bop in a minute come out from
True.
them, and you're like, dude, this feels really good. Like that back and forth of just like pace and stuff is really
Yeah.
exciting when we play them. But
Yeah.
other teams I think to look out for is Monty, who I think has lost in the finals the last two
Yes, the last,
tournaments.
if my memory serves me correctly, the last two finals have been Bop versus Monty.
Yeah, and I know 2023 Monty beat us in winners finals.
Yeah, that was
Um,
the Connor Steer team.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, that Connor Steer. Yep. So then we lost to Bop in losers bracket finals, which we talked about
Yep.
last week,
Yep.
which was the first time we played with Bert. So there's also a little bit of Bert revenge going on here as well this weekend. But this is I want to say like full Monty, but I don't know. Like half these guys have only been playing for like 2 years, but I feel like in spirit this is the truest like full Monty team with one addition. So
Yeah.
you've got Turcotte,
Nails.
uh, Eli, who for those of you who don't know, I don't know if Eli still is technically a rookie or not, but he started playing like a year ago, and he
Yeah.
already is just like good, like
Nails.
good, good,
Fucking
just
nails.
classic thumber.
Yep.
You got J Man and
Yep.
Hans.
Nails. Nails.
You've got, dude, they even have like, and then Bob, classic, the most Kiwana Guts player I've ever seen. Just crazy hands and a vintage two finger.
Yeah, dude.
And
Nails.
then they've got, who personality wise is one of my favorite Guts players. They got Cheetah,
Nails. Love him.
just holding down the cooler on
Yep. Oh,
Sundays.
he's a
You know it.
fucking beauty.
And then, dude, just the implant of Will Walden, just to make that team a little more scary.
Yep. Which I love that. I love
Because
that a lot.
I don't think any like Will's usual teams going. I know like the Boomtown guys are kind of all over the place, and I don't see the usual worms. So that's gonna be a, even if you feel like you can outgun that team, they are gonna catch so many frisbees.
Yeah. I
Like
remember,
their
yes.
defense is nuts.
Yeah, I remember playing against all these guys, and that's the one big takeaway I have is, yeah, they've got some shooters. Obviously Turcotte's been around. He rips. The addition of Will is nice. He fucking rips.
I've also heard that like, and I saw it in the dome because I played against him. Like apparently J Man's two finger has just gotten better
Oh,
since
it's
he's gotten
gross. Yeah,
outside this year.
I was.
Like it's fast as
Yep.
hell now,
You beat me to
man.
the punch. J-Man's two fingers rips. Hans obviously fucking
It's
rips.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful to watch.
I mean, this team again is one of those, like, I love all these guys, but they, like, again, they could be another team that finds
Oh
their
yeah,
way up
they're
there.
gonna be there end of day
Yep.
Sunday, like they have in the last 2 years.
Yep.
Like,
Exactly. Yep.
and then the other one in this group that I think is always worth mentioning is obviously UP Hardwood, um,
Yep.
reigning IFT champs,
Yep.
has similar to us is looking for their first Wisco as a team.
Hit me with the names.
So let's start with the full classic. We got Lottie,
Nails.
captain,
Nails.
Connor Steer.
Nails.
What is Bo's nickname? It's like 4B or something. I forget. Bo's not got a nickname now.
Nails.
But Bo, who's been throwing nuts. We got Hoagie, obviously.
Yep. Nails.
Kasky.
Nails.
The glue to this entire team, Axel Sights,
Nails.
who instantly makes any Guts team better
Yep.
that he's on.
Fact.
Which also means that you get mixed sights.
Yes.
So it's
You've
twice the
already,
sights.
regardless of where you finish, you've already won the tournament.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the new addition, Trent Softwood, which is
Yeah, that's
his official frisbee name
That's
as long
what
as he is on this team.
That's what I've heard. They've donned him. It's not
Yes.
Trent Smith anymore. Trent
No, it's
Softwood.
Trent Softwood.
Must be like a birch or something.
Yeah, yeah. He's just like it's not good firewood. Like
No.
it just burns fast. Like
So, like, again, like, I'm running down the list. Like, obviously, you look at Lottie, Steer, Bo, Hogan, Trent, who I'm guessing, no shade to like Cask or Axel, fucking love you boys, but I'm assuming that's gonna be what the 5 is. Like that's a sick fucking team.
Well, and that's the nice thing about this team is like they've got the bench now.
Yeah,
Like that's a really
interchangeable.
flexible six. Not that they didn't before.
Yeah,
And we'll get to the Susie move here at some point. But like it's just like, hey, we have six to fit circumstances.
yeah, and they can switch. Like they can flip
And
flop.
it gives a fun creative problem.
Yes.
That's kind of be like I feel like we're gonna be stuck a little bit more in that. Like when push comes to shove on Sunday, as much as I love Dan, like it's his second year playing. He's not used to like super high level frisbee yet. Like
Yeah.
he probably isn't in the cards of like we're gonna bring him in because someone's getting picked on if it was like winter semis.
Yep.
Unless we like really need to try something. So it's more of that like, hey, here's our five. Let's figure out with the five of us what we can do
Yep.
to win this game versus the like. It's almost easier having captain teams where we have more than five people deserving to play at any given time. Of like that could be the hard part.
That could be the hard
And
part.
we're seeing this a lot as we look through the like rosters of like every team I see that has like six or seven. I'm like, oh yeah, how are you gonna like? All these people should be playing for your team. Like they're all
I
so
know.
good.
I know.
But yeah, I think that,
Yes.
and obviously there's some other teams in here who I think could definitely sneak up into the top four. Um, but I think going into Wisco, like that's going to be your Sunday afternoon. Like I would not be shocked unless pools happen differently or something. But
Yep.
if you tell me that there's some mix of like us hardwood, Monty and Bop in winter semis Sunday, I'm like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, dude, we're gonna have to start at like 8 in the morning. There's gonna be so much catching
Oh,
amongst
there's
these
gonna be
teams. Like
yeah, dude.
it's gonna be some gauntlets
Yep. With
coming out.
they've only have 5 fields at Wisco, right?
Yes.
With only 5 fields, the amount of catching that will be happening because people have been
Yes.
playing frisbee and
For so
defense has
long.
been nuts recently. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Also, we should probably say 13 teams this year,
Yes,
which ties last year's record
We didn't say that,
for
did we?
13 teams, which is super cool.
Fucking awesome. Fucking
It also
awesome.
makes me excited for the rest of the year because it kind of feels like when we have a good showing at Wisco, like that means that the UP tournaments are going to have a bunch of teams, and this is a good showing at
Yes.
Wisco.
Yep.
Some other teams that we wanted to shout out as well. Starting off with what I'm affectionately calling our B team,
Yep.
also known as the Baby Dragons,
Ooh,
minus my dad, who obviously is
the OG,
the OG, the elder statesman.
the Elder Dragon.
Oh, there it is.
Smog, if you will.
He's been sitting on his gold for years.
He's been yeah, dude. He's been marinating in that cavern of his
Yeah, but so that's another thing is we will not be playing as DM Dragons for Wisco for the first time in several years.
No, but there will be a DM Dragons
But there will be a DM Dragons, which, like we said, it's my dad, it's my best friend Mitch,
Yep.
two of my housemates from college,
Yep.
Another Noah, and my buddy Brandon.
Yep.
And then your friend Brad.
Fact. Nails.
Who has been playing ever since the Dome tournament and has been getting better rapidly.
Oh, rapidly better, yeah.
But that'll be that team's going to be a bunch of fun. They are super new to the game. Like we have the rookie list. There's 9 rookies at this tournament. They are 4 of the 9 rookies on that team.
Hell yeah.
We are covering the rookies. But it's going to be one of those things. If you watch their first game on Saturday, it's going to be really funny. And if you watch their first game on Sunday, you're going to be like, how is this the same team?
Yes, I think that's true. They're going to learn so much from
also,
day 2.
I'm pumped to have a built-in, like, knowing my buddies, they will go crazy once they're out of the tournament. Like,
hell yeah.
We're just going to have a build, like, it's almost going to be like when the pack travels.
True.
But it's just going to be a bunch of, like, nice golf claps for shots.
Hell yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a good shot. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah,
it's going to be great. So I was super excited about that. Also, just it's always fun at a tournament to have like a rookie team and like the community engagement with that.
Yes.
We need to point out the new look roaches.
Yeah, which they're not. Have they always been the roaches?
No, I think this is new. They've just been roaches in the past.
Well, see, that's what I thought. Now I'm looking at this list, and Aiden Claffey, who is the GM Roach, and
which is all it asks is your name. And Aiden, in parentheses, added to his name on this form, GM Roach.
GM Roach. But
which, before we move on, I need to point out that so far there's no Team Burn. There is just Team Ethan Hayes, captained by Ethan Hayes, submitted by Ethan Hayes.
Which do we want to run through Team Ethan Hayes quick? Let's just give me the names.
Well, Ethan Hayes,
Yep,
obviously.
nails.
We've got Carson Hayes, which
Yep,
is younger Ethan Hayes.
yep. Catboy,
We got
nails.
we got Stiff Griff.
Nails.
We have the. I'm gonna actually skip ahead real quick. We got Chase Seeger.
Yep, nails.
We got Frosty.
Yeah, nails.
And then just the implants of
Mm.
Lucas Jensen and Tabor Cook.
Yeah, nails.
And then Jake Susi, who's
Yep,
joining Team
nails.
Burn this year.
Which,
Like, they have a full squad.
yeah, Team Ethan
like-
Hayes is gonna be
Watch out.
Yeah, I hope they're not Burn. I hope
I hope that's
John
not-
I hope
not
John
Todd.
writes Ethan
Yeah,
Hayes
just
as the
Ethan
team
Hayes
name.
on it. It's way funnier. Another funny team name, real quick, before we get back to
We're
actually
jumping there.
talking
Yep,
about
we
the
can
new
jump
roaches. There is a Jericho's team, which
Nails.
cool to see Jericho being a captain for once.
there. Yeah, shout out
Um,
Jerry.
Is named appropriately Beer 30,
That's so fucking sick.
which is the answer at a Guts tournament to what time it is, pretty much always.
All the time.
Unless it's Dart 30.
Yep.
Which,
Well,
but yeah, and it's Jericho. I believe that's his brother-in-law, Josh.
Yep.
Connor Marshall,
Yep.
the Marquette local.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if he's like a local.
Shelby,
who I don't. We take credit for him now. I
yeah,
think he's actually
NMU
from
NMU
Wisconsin.
Ultimate player. Yeah, sure. We can Marquette. Yep, great.
He practices in Marquette.
He
He's one of
does.
ours.
Yep.
I don't know Shelby Giudice.
Yeah, sorry, Shelby. I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know if either. Maybe
I
if I
don't know
saw a
if
face. If
I
I
don't
saw
know
a
if
face,
she's their.
probably.
They have a rookie. I don't know if that's their rookie.
That would make sense.
And we got Steve-O's niece, Juice's daughter, Maddie.
Yep, nails.
I was playing with them. Kevin O'Malley, who like we
Nails.
talked about.
Fucking
Brick
nails.
wall.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
absolute brick wall.
I'm excited to see that.
And then the other Josh Guyant, who
Mm.
I have not seen in a minute.
I don't. Do I know Josh? Do I know that Josh?
I don't know. I think I know Josh.
Okay.
There's a chance I don't know Josh, which would be hilarious.
Shout out
but I'm
Josh.
pretty sure I know Josh.
Sorry, Josh. If I don't know, apologize, but shout out Josh.
But yeah, circling back to the roaches, because you can't kill a roach.
No, they're back. Somehow. They've returned.
So,
Just like Palpatine. Somehow. They've returned.
through Sith dark magic.
GM
So-
Roach Aiden Claffey has.
Yeah, put together an absolute squad.
Yeah, hit me with the names.
So you've got the typical roaches.
Yep.
With Nate Lascelles, Brad Seaborg,
Yep.
the Element,
The element.
and Case Gray.
Nails. All of them. Yeah.
And then the incoming roaches,
Yes.
the newest roaches on the block. You've got Case's brother Marty,
Yeah.
who I hear throws heat.
That's what I've
Like,
been told.
Just heat.
That's what I've been
I've
told.
known Marty since like elementary school,
Yeah.
and I am so excited at how excited he is for Frisbee.
Hell yeah.
Like he finally is embracing it, and it's fantastic.
Yep.
We got Patrick McCommons,
Yep.
who's someone that we went to
Nails.
high school with.
Yeah. Shout
My
out
fun fact
shout
about
out
Patrick
Choir.
is that he was the turtle in Seussical, the musical, when we were in high
The
school.
turtle? There's
Yeah.
a turtle in that musical?
Yeah, he's the judge when like Horton goes to the courthouse. It's,
Oh shit, yeah, okay.
I think it's like Ertl the Turtle or something is his name, but it was Patrick.
Is that his nickname now? Is that his guts nickname?
Yeah, dude, it's just Turtle.
Turtle?
Just straight
Yeah,
Turtle.
great.
And then
Oh, I'm excited
real-
for this.
the real
Oh.
changer. His name is spelled very wrong on this
So
form.
wrong, Aiden. Well,
But-
there's yeah.
But Danny Thornton is
Dan
playing with Dan Thornton's a roach.
Thornton is a roach. God, that makes
Which-
me really happy.
I mean this in the best way possible because it's a term of endearment. That also means that Barb Thornton will be engaging in roach activities over the weekend.
Fucking A's. I didn't even think about that.
I do like how they were like, "Oh, Trent isn't playing with us. We need another very tall, lanky guy who throws a backhand. Let's get the original in Dan Thornton."
They said, "Fuck it, give me Dan Thornton." That's what I want. I love that. Aiden as GM, that's an unbelievable move.
So is Aiden now a player, coach, front
Yeah,
office manager?
he must
front,
be, yeah.
Front office exec.
Yeah, and if ESPN is grading that acquirement, that off-season ad, that free agency pickup,
That
surely that's an
acquisition?
A plus.
Oh yeah, that's a great acquisition.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. Like picking up Bird is still number one. Come on, it's Bird, but number two.
Yeah, he's that veteran guy. He brings the locker room vibes. He's
He
been around the game.
Holds a
I mean,
team together.
yeah, dude. That's a solid pickup for the Roaches.
a few other things I want to mention real quick. Um, Maynard's Kids is a hilarious name,
That's fucking incredible.
which of course includes both of Maynard's kids, which is the Coldens with Luke and Jared.
Yep.
It's also
Nails.
captained by Ryan Scott, dad.
Nails. What up, Dad?
And then we've
Nails.
got one of the 5-person teams. We got Chris Walden
Nails.
and then Bryce Stallman.
Hell yeah.
Stillman.
Nails.
Stillman. I was going to say Stallman.
That's
Stillman.
okay. It's
Who
late.
I am uncomfortable at how tall he is now.
Isn't that
Just gonna
something?
put it out there.
Yeah, dude.
I remember when he was shorter than me, and I
Yep.
think he's taller than me now, and
Yep.
I'm sad.
Fact. I had that happen the other day. Who was it? My brother's brother. Not related to me at all, but like Carter. He's like a junior in high school now. I think the last time I saw him, he maybe hit my waist. He was like you. He was pants. But we had a rummage sale at our house the other day, and he was there. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Oh, that's Carter Spencer. Holy
And you're like,
hell! How old
no,
am I?
he's this small. What do you mean?
Yeah, what are you
like,
talking about?
You're like, jeez.
You're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
Dude,
Bryce is
speaking of-
also one of those people. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of tall people,
Go
full
on.
compliance coming back.
Holy shit!
with
Yeah, yep. Hit me.
Nick, the absolute unit Harif.
Also, first off, hold on. Tom just put his first name.
That's because you don't need to know
Ballsy.
more. He's Tom,
That's ballsy of Tom Pereira.
which is good because I struggle to pronounce Tom's last name, so
Tom.
I'm happy he just put Tom.
Tom. Okay, Tom nails.
Obviously, we got Nick.
Yep, nails. Which
We got 8.
hold on, I'm gonna pause you there, Nick, quick. He's been throwing. Was he throwing that fish hook at or not the fish hook? It's way past my bedtime. I'm blanking on the shot.
Oh, you're thinking of his spud?
Yes. Did he pick that up at Global Guts Day?
Guts Camp.
Or yeah, Guts Camp, because he was
Yeah.
throwing that at Global Guts Day.
No, yeah, that was exactly it.
Unbelievable.
Dude, that was spin the wheel, man. Just
It's
spin the wheel and see what shot you get.
he the first time he threw it, because I hadn't seen it until we played him. It's his 2-finger run up, and then he transitions into a backhand form, but then it's just a spud. It's so fucking sick.
It's super cool.
I wanna give him
Also,
a high five.
Dude has gotten so accurate with his 2-finger, like height-wise too.
Yeah.
Not just who he wants to hit.
Nails.
And then another staple of full compliance. We got AP,
Yep, nails.
the absolute beauty.
Yeah.
Then we've got Josh Scanlon
Yep, nails.
joining
Beauty.
the team. Love it. Alec Bush.
Yep. The chicken wing. That's chicken
Yes.
wing, dude. Nails.
And let me tell you, that thing is fun to watch.
It is.
That is like the most vintage. I hope he plays barefoot in
Yeah.
like legit cutoff shorts.
Oh yeah, Alex Beauty.
Just because of the shot he throws.
Alex is a fucking beauty.
We got Caleb Schroeder.
Yep, nails.
Also on the team.
Yep.
And then Kate Day.
Yep,
my
nails.
friend, who's
Nails.
awesome.
Yeah, Kate's a blast. I do hope Alec brings his dog. He has a dog named Stella. I
Also-
don't know if you're familiar with Stella
Yes.
the dog. Yeah.
Because he brought Stella to Sunday of Guts Camp.
So
and I got to meet Stella. Stella's
I
a
hope
beauty.
Stella makes an appearance in Wisco.
Yeah, we
'cause
should just like add Stella to their roster.
to their
Like,
roster.
she's rostered. Like,
Yeah. Get her on
it
the
doesn't
line.
say that a dog can't play.
Get her on the
Like,
line. Hell yeah.
What
Look
other
fine.
teams haven't we touched on?
The nickel.
We got Wooden Nickel.
Yeah, dude. Hit
Because
me.
the nickel's always there.
Always there. Hit me with it.
A little bit of an interesting nickel team.
It is.
We
isn't
got
it?
Rachel as the captain.
Nails.
Nick Jackson,
Nails.
who has been a frequencer of the nickel.
Yep.
Tim Meyer is playing on the nickel.
Nails. Hell
Just
yeah.
hands for days.
Yeah, dude. Love
Uh, Josh Martinez
Nails.
bringing down the height of the line for everyone.
that.
I can imagine the box conversations when he stands next to Nick Jackson. That
Oh
would be a
my god.
blast.
Yeah, put him next to Nick Jackson. Called
Honestly, what might be my favorite name I have seen on the tournament list, Ian Caldwell's coming.
That's nails.
I love Ian.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people to interact with at Frisbee.
I couldn't be more happy to see Ian Colwell's name on this list.
And then to round out the squad,
Oh my
you
god.
got Mando.
Oh, nails. Yeah, that's
I mean,
love the
Mando
nickel.
like is the living embodiment of the nickel.
Yes.
Like I think the bar, because of how much he frequents it as a patron, just pays for his tournament fee. Like they just sponsor Mando, and then obviously Rachel has worked there for several years at this point. But
They sponsor Johnny, and Johnny just so
Well-
happens to call them the wooden nickel each time.
well, no, I think what happens is Mando pays like 25 cents more a beer,
Mm,
and then they take that and they're like, "Here's your guts entry fees throughout the year." Like
hell yeah.
we just collect them in advance.
That's sick.
without
Could
telling
you imagine?
Um,
Nails.
and then we've got good old Beckman Properties.
Yep, hit me with it.
Which just I believe says new name coming soon.
Does it? Can we
because it's
expand on that? It does say new name coming
new name
soon.
coming
It
soon.
just says
Uh,
Beckman.
correct. We got Tanner as the
Which,
captain.
hold on, same as Ethan Hayes. What if they were just Beckman and then in parentheses, new name coming soon? And John had to write that out
Yeah,
each time
well,
that they moved
because
on to the.
I know usually they'll play as Beckman properties at this
Yeah.
tournament,
Yep.
and apparently Brian's like, I don't want to sponsor us this year.
Yeah.
I don't want. I don't
So
want to do that.
so
We'll
new
just
name coming
we'll just
soon.
be Beckman.
Just
Yeah.
Beckman. All right, hit me with
Or
it.
do you think that's in reference to Baby B that's on the way?
Could be. Is this where Tanner's gonna reveal what they're naming the kid? It's just the name of their team.
No, the name of their child is new name coming soon.
Is
Beckman.
new name coming soon, comma Beckman.
And then Tanner's really best buddy Carter,
Yep.
who's played in a couple tournaments with him.
Nails.
Thad, who we played yard games with last year, Saturday night when Tanner's buddies came over.
Yep.
Thad was in that group.
Thad, nails. Shout out Thad.
His cousin Jake Paquette,
Yep,
who was
nails.
at Guts Camp and Global Guts Day.
Yep, nails.
And Brian Beckman, who I swear has said he's been retired for like 6 years.
He has, hasn't he? He stays around. He's like a roach. Just can't quite get rid of him.
And every time Brian's like, no, I'm done. And then it's like, Brian, you want to play Frisbee? And he's like, yeah, I guess
I guess I'll do
like,
one more. All right, yeah.
And then, of course, can never not acknowledge them because they're always there.
Last
Blood
but not
and Guts.
least, I believe, right? Is this last team?
Yes.
Sick.
Blood and Guts.
Yep. Hit me.
As always, captain by the Bick.
Yep, nails.
You know Kevin's going to be there.
Yep.
Let's go with some usuals first.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to do that.
Yep. So we've got Travis Tusink, who's played with them for multiple years now.
Yep.
Takes some great Guts photos too when he's not playing.
He does. Shout out Trav.
In addition to Barb, super awesome.
Shout out Travs.
We've got, dude, Tim Smoke is on the team.
The smoke locomotive, dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
The Mokinator.
The smoke wagon, dude.
Dude, absolute smoke wagon.
Hell
that is Jim Moke.
What
You
up,
want to talk
Jimmy?
about Frisbee nicknames.
He's got a few of them. What up, Jim? Also,
he
shout
does.
out Jim.
Dude, for real. Jim
real.
Moke will be there. As always, I hope at some point we just let him commentate Guts Frisbee because he's like incredible at it.
Yeah, shout out Jim.
We got Pop O'Malley. Dave O'Malley's
who
gonna be
just
playing with him.
doesn't have a shirt size listed, so I'm hoping he plays skins the whole tournament.
He might. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure you're pumped about this. I wish it was both days.
Yeah.
Bruce Richardson will be there on Sunday at least.
Oh man, I love me some Bruce Richardson.
Dude, for real, he makes you feel so much better about yourself as a
so
person.
much better.
The positivity is off the charts. And then the walking legend himself, Ron Blau, to round out the team.
Oh yes. Oh,
dude, that's a big transfer window acquisition.
Man,
for Blood and Guts.
You talk about free agency pickups, and we had Dan Thornton up there. Ron Blau on Blood and Guts could also be up there with one of those.
Very similar.
I think he just fits. I think he just slots in seamlessly into that team. I think they're going to have no issues with Ron Blau on that team.
That rounds out the 13. We didn't plan any part after this, so I'm just going to start with what are your thoughts as a competitor soon to be competing in this tournament, which is bad English.
That's okay. It's past our bedtimes, and we've had to restart thrice, so that's...
Yeah, my brain is broken.
We went through a lot of names. Again, we're back on the... I am excited. I mean, first and foremost, I'm excited. Thinking selfishly because, like, I'm ready to play Frisbee. I think the field is terrific. I think my only thoughts past my bedtime and brain melting is get me on the fucking line. Get me to Saturday. Get me to Sunday. I need those polos. I can't wait.
I love that energy.
For that caddy bib that we have that says flip and dip on the back. Fucking hit me with every shot you ever throw at this team. I'm fucking ready to play Frisbee.
I hate to break it to you. I don't know how many people are going to throw you. You've won an MVP now, my friend.
Fuck.
Dude, it's that funny thing of like,
anyways.
Like you start playing Frisbee and you're all new, so it doesn't matter. So they just don't aim. And then your team gets good enough that you have targets, and then you become a target, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, my team's losing because of me. Or you're like, I have to do so much right now. Like, I'm just getting pounded. And then you get good enough where you're not the target anymore, and you're like, all right, this is all right. Like at least I'm not at the target. And then you get really good, and they avoid you, and it sucks again.
And you're like, damn it, dude.
You're like, no, now I want people to throw at me.
I know, it's great. Yeah. So that my takeaway, hit me. I don't know. I guess that's all I
Yeah,
have to say. Yeah.
Braden's gonna feel off on this weekend.
No, hit
Like you
me.
guys should really test him out and see if like he's not gonna catch what you throw at him. So
No,
he should probably like he should
never
be your guy.
once. Yeah, hit me.
Um,
What are your takeaways?
I'm gonna ask three things.
Mm. This is a question you want me to answer?
Yes,
Okay.
and then I will give my thoughts afterwards.
After you ask
So
all three questions?
yes,
Okay.
I want you to just kind of list teams, give a little short burst.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make it difficult because some people have said that we're too nice on this podcast and need to give some more incendiary hot takes.
Okay.
So
I have no idea
who
where
do you
this is
think's
going.
gonna
I'm
win?
excited.
Who do you think's gonna win the tournament? Who do you think is going to be the most surprising team in
Mm.
terms of like make a Sunday run or like they play better than we thought or like are hard
Mm.
out?
Yep.
And then what team do you think is actually going to be the most fun?
Mm. So I have an answer for that last one right away, and that is Team Ethan Hayes. Um, coached by,
Formerly known as Burn.
formerly known as Burn, captained by Ethan Hayes, submitted by Ethan Hayes. I think, I mean, it's just hard to pick against the Hayes brothers with Stiff Griff, and Susie and Seeger and Frost, and then adding Lucas Jensen and Tabor to that team.
Dude, I don't know if like the combination of the amount that Hayes likes to be at a frisbee tournament
Mm.
mixed with Stiff Griff being a human being is such a powerful combination in terms of fun to be had.
Powerful combination. I had, anyways. I think they're gonna be a blast. I mean, they're always a blast, but I think you just can't go wrong with Team Burn
Correct.
being just the nails. Who do I think is going to surprise? Hold on, let me run through quickly. I'm trying. Give me. Okay. Well, who do I think is going to win? I'm not going to say us because, like, obviously, as being part of the team, my objective is to go into this winning the tournament. So saying flip and dip feels like, yeah, that should be my answer anyways. So I'm not going to pick me. And I think I'm going to go a little run of the mill here. You might hate me for this. You might say this isn't hot enough. Sorry, I'm going to pick Shuttlebop.
I mean, dude, that addition with Capo is
I know. I mean, that's
just
just
nuts.
their whole team is just
My
gas,
God,
dude.
talk about just no targets.
Holy fuck. No, like it's yeah, I'm not looking forward to and looking forward to playing them.
Yeah, that's
If
totally
if
fair.
that makes sense. In a psychotic way, I'm looking forward to
Oh yeah,
seeing the
as a
most.
crazy person, I
Yeah.
want to play that game.
Yeah, oh yes, correct. I'm 100% looking forward to that. Who do I think is going to surprise? I think just because they're my boys, like all of them, I'm just gonna give me the Roaches, dude. Like I think Aiden's gonna step up. I think I mean like I think Nate, Brad, I think Case, I think Marty, from what I've heard, is really really good, and that's a great addition. And then you got Turtle and Dan Thornton. So
Dude,
like
true. That is
I think they're gonna win some games. Like they're obviously that makes it sound like I didn't think they were gonna win any games. Not at all what I meant.
they're gonna be in the tournament longer than we think on Sunday. I think
Yeah.
that's the way to like phrase
Yes.
it.
Yeah. And yes. Not. And again, that sounds like I'm ripping on them, which I'm not because these are my boys. But if on the spot you're asking me what team I think is going to surprise a little bit, I'm going to go with the Roaches. I think this is going to be. I think this has the potential for this. Holy shit! Is it late? This tournament has the potential for them to go longer into Sunday than they traditionally have in the past.
A little breakout tournament. I get you. I get you. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Um, I'm gonna go with my fun team first.
Yep.
Because I don't want the other two. I think I'm gonna go supernova on half the take. uh, but I think the team that I think is gonna do better than people think. I'm going full compliance.
Yeah. See, that was a
Like
close second.
honestly,
I'm glad you
playing
picked
with
them.
Nick and Tom a bunch and knowing like where AP's at and
Yes.
like Alex Shot's gonna like mess some people up on it.
Yeah.
But like they're just getting really solid together. And I think
Yes.
this is one of those tournaments
Yep.
of like it's gonna be a game against a team like Burn, who I think actually has a chance to go really far. in this tournament,
You
or
mean Team
like
Ethan Hayes?
which is actually known as Team Ethan Hayes. But I think that's a like a really quality team like a Wood Nickel or like a Maynard's kids. Like I think it's gonna be that tournament where like they take that game on Sunday that we didn't expect them to win,
Mm,
and then it's like they're pushing one of the top teams. Like
yeah,
if they get knocked out, it's like a 21-18, like it was a 7-6 switch
yeah,
type of situation.
yeah,
But I just think they're super solid and they're gonna force teams to beat them.
yeah. So here's my win now middle three. I think you got Tom at 2. I think you put AP at 3, and you've got Nick at 4, or at least those three in the middle at some point. And
I was gonna say,
that's a scary enough middle
dude,
three.
God's Camp, what really fixed our 5-man team, because took Hool and then Tom as my first 2 picks in that. We put Tom in the middle. He played so good.
Yeah, dude,
And
nails,
he was asking me
nails.
like he's like, "Wait, how do I move in the middle? I've never played here before." And I was like, "Dude, you're so good at it." Like with his ups and his movement, like
Yeah,
it's a little bit similar to like why we put Cam in the middle so frequently. Even and like not like he wouldn't be great at any other position, but it's that like just play on instinct and have good hands position
yeah,
versus like you have as much of a role. It's literally just like, no, you are the rover of this line.
yeah,
Like go where you need to go to get to the frisbee.
yep,
And I think I saw that like flash with Tom of like, oh, he could get really good at this. Or
yes.
you just put Nick in the middle because he's the tallest person. And in my head, like if there was a rule, we would go by height, and the 2 shortest people are on the ends,
Mm.
and the 2 middle are on the whips, and the tallest person's in the
So it
middle.
has to nicely
Yeah,
like
it has to
meet
go
at a
up.
peak.
Yeah, like,
Or what's even better is you put Josh in between AP and Nick and have fun trying to find gaps in those boxes.
dude, they could have the craziest one of their lineups because you put Josh in the middle, AP and Nick, and then like Tom is not a tall person, neither is Kate, and you put them
No,
on the ends,
I
and you
know.
just have the most fun conversations about their boxes that literally are like
Yes.
this. Um, and then getting to my, I'm gonna combine my hot take
Mm.
and my who wins the tournament.
Yep. Go on.
And it's really how Sunday afternoon plays out.
Yep.
I think we're gonna beat Monte Carlo in winners bracket finals because they're gonna upset Bop Sunday morning,
Mm.
which is a Monty special. And then I think Bop goes on a classic Bop Sunday run, but we beat him in the finals in 3,
Sick.
getting our redemption. You weren't going to pick us. I'm going to pick us.
Okay, that's great.
It's time, Bop. We're coming for you.
All right, shout out. What's up? What's up, boys? Okay,
We
great.
might be
I
able to
love
beat
that.
the Wolfpack, but once we start flipping and dipping, they're not going to know what to do.
Different team, different team,
Team,
different animal,
different mindset.
different uniforms.
Yeah, I am coming in with just trying to be as confident as possible.
Love that from you.
And
That's what I
it
need
might
from my
bite us in the
captain.
ass and we take like 7th place or some shit.
Good, yeah, good, very
Just
well.
talking all this crap on the podcast. But no, I think the more incendiary thing, like I would love if we got to play Bop in the finals.
Oh yeah,
But I think there's a world where like Monty and Bop is the weirdest. Like I think it's the purest rivalry in terms of like traditional sports rivalries of like it doesn't matter who's on which team or where they're at. Like either of them can just randomly beat the other
mm-hmm.
because it's like Bop Monty,
Yeah,
especially if it's Saturday afternoon. Like
mm-hmm.
dude, those some of the craziest games of frisbee.
Yeah,
But I'm looking at this Monty roster and I'm like, they could just annoy Bop enough
yeah,
that like they get a dump here or there and they just play a super clean defensive game.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, you just like catch Bop off guard.
Yep.
And then I fully expect Bop to end up in the finals anyways.
Correct. They'll just win
But
through the losers bracket.
yeah, but they'll be tired and we'll be locked in.
Hell
And then
yeah.
we'll win the tournament. That's my call. I'm
Sick.
confident.
Great.
Which of course means that Hardwood's going to win because we didn't mention them in that.
Yeah,
So-
Hardwood's gonna win.
Yeah, Hardwood just automatically wins, and I think Hardwood honestly could be the
Again, yeah, that's another team.
another like most fun team.
Yes,
I mean,
they
Axel
could.
Sites is some of my favorite Wisco moments that
True.
I don't think we can talk about at the podcast.
No, I don't think we can either. They're a team that I think checks all 3 of those boxes. They could win because they've got the firepower. They could also like people could step up and just play out of their minds and surprise a lot of people, you know. And they're also just a fucking blast, dude.
And that's the thing, right? Of like, it's kind of hard to pick it because if you're like, oh, I think I'm gonna like Hardwood's is going to exceed expectations, and I'm like, I don't even like winning the tournament isn't exceeding expectations for them. Like,
Yeah.
they have an equally good chance of pretty much any of the other top teams
Right.
to win it. So it's like it feels weird to say it that way. Of like they're in that boat, but yeah, also just they're gonna be an absolute blast.
Yeah. Also, just a wagon.
Just a
Wagon.
full wagon.
Yeah, dude.
All
I
right, so
love that.
that's the preview.
Oh,
We are all so unbelievably excited to get to playing frisbee
yes.
in 5 days. When we're listening to it 2 days, like I don't know if I've ever seen this much buzz for a gut season.
No. The Guts community, in terms of like what I've seen and interacted with, is so fucking ready to go.
And it's like I feel like we're growing. Like nine rookies is awesome. I think we'll get even more than that at upcoming tournaments this year with the new players in the UP stepping up more. Um, but everyone who is actively been in the community, like I feel like we've just seen each other way more,
Yep.
which means that we've been playing more guts, and
True.
everyone's like, I don't want to say taking it more seriously. I think I should put it like we're all putting in more energy to getting better
True.
than we used to.
Yeah, I
Like,
think I
and
agree.
that's in fun and just like playing more guts in general ways. But like, people aren't just like, oh, I'm stepping on the line and throwing now. It's like people like Nick of like, oh yeah, I've got like new tools in the bag this year. Like I figured out a spud that I didn't have last year. Like
Hell yeah.
same thing of like teams aren't going to know what to do when you throw a fish hook for the first time.
Which I'm glad you brought that up, Big Yawn. Everyone at Marquette on Global Guts Day was throwing a fucking fish hook.
Oh, I that's one thing. If you have not been in the Marquette gut scene, the rest of the frisbee community, we are all going to learn how to catch fish hooks this year because I think we're about to see 15 of them
Yeah,
thrown at us. Like I
everyone
have
throws
a
a.
pocket fish hook now.
Yep.
If the wind
I have a
conditions are
fish
right.
hook.
Yeah, like we're two culprits of this. Like
We are
Bert
part of the
decided that he could
problem.
throw a fish hook now.
Our
Like,
team is part of the problem.
you know, it is, and it's not going to change for like the IFT because like Hooley's got one now a little bit. Like he's been
Yes.
working on it just in the corner, and it's like no, everyone is just like, well, let's figure it out. Like what do we got here? It's just funny. But let's wrap it up. We got a question of the day here,
Whoop.
which I'm going to get through so fast.
Oh, is it getting late?
It's late for us.
Yeah, this is Guts After Dark for sure.
Oh no, that's something that we can't share this podcast. That's a whole other experience.
Oh.
But I texted Mitch right before the episode. For those who have already forgotten, he's the one who made the fun on top of the hat catch.
Shut up, Mitch.
Earlier.
I'd pull that up again, but I've already exited out of that tab.
No, it's fine. It's too late. Just in general. But his question synthesized was kind of like, what's like your biggest or like flashiest frisbee play, or like have you ever had like a Sports Center top 10-esque play that we've made? I have like a few answers that I'll give. I mean, I've been playing the game for 15 years. You think you'd have a couple? The rundown in last year's nationals, like
has to be up there.
I got there too fast, like just if like there's
Darn.
no like bid or anything, like it was, and it floated so perfectly. It wasn't like, oh, it's vertical and you're trying to like chase it down.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, it's just like a really nice run out. But it's just like the moment for it and what it meant in that instance was the big thing.
Yeah.
But the two I can think of was, do you remember that IFT where it was super windy, like 3?
You mean every single IFT?
No, it was the one where Justin blew out his Achilles.
The sand bowl.
Yes. Yeah, because on Saturday it was super windy, and I was playing the right end, and it caught the wind gust and threw the frisbee at me, and I got dirt in my eyes, and with my eyes closed, I just snatched it out of midair.
Hell yeah!
And everyone was like, "What just happened?" Like, and there was no bobble, and it was spinning end over end, and I literally just like eyes closed, stabbed because I couldn't see anything.
Hell yeah!
And I was like, "Oh my god, what just happened?" That was so cool.
That's sick.
And then the other one was my first tournament, also an IFT. We were playing what is probably the best team of all time, and we'll have this conversation someday. But we were playing Kupla, which like they won this IFT. It was like one of their last tournament wins. But Jimmy Dinzer, who was like my thumber idol as a kid, of like he was just a rock on defense and had a great thumber, and I was like, that's all I want to be. But he was throwing a backhand because we were all 13-year-olds. It's his arm was shot because he threw a thumber for 30 years. Um, but he threw a shot, and I had like a diving catch out the back of the backfield, like full extension bid, like great catch. And then I scored on him with my thumber afterwards. And it was like when I made the catch, like their entire team came over and like were giving me high fives. And
Hell
it was
yeah.
like it was a great introduction to the sport moment and like
Yeah.
really good sportsmanship and feeling like I wanted to be belong. But I was like, oh my God, that was like that's like the young kid being like, someday I'm gonna be like these guys.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's fucking sick. I'm glad you went first because it gave me time to think about stuff. Um, we kind of touched that before, but like when we get into like important games, I kind of almost black out. So like if the game isn't like filmed and there's not something I can like watch back, there's a good chance that like unless something unbelievable happened that like it just blends in to other
I almost feel
games.
like you have like a not top 10 submission, which is just that clip of you running dead back on the end. It's the rest of us are trying to up a frisbee. Just
um sure I can do well I'll do one of both. I have a top 10. So what came to mind was um in Australia, it might have been like the last game that we played um the whole week. Like it was one of the last ones. I was on the right end and someone threw, it must have been like a righty backhand at me. And it kind of crossed me up. So like I remember seeing it and starting with the right, but then I had to like quickly adjust and caught it with the left and it like in the air, like fucking shot the other direction. So I remember crossing up, blocking it, and chasing down like through the spectators that were watching onto another field and like not bidding, but like sliding on the knees to be able
I
to
no,
get
I feel
under
like
it.
I remember this catch
Yeah, it was sick.
because we weren't playing, and I was like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah, it was
Like,
sick.
like you turned the Jets on,
Yeah, it was sick. That might have been the fastest I've ever moved ever.
dude. Also, your pop against Boomtown, not Boomtown, sorry, Bop in 2023. Was it Steve or Carter? The one
Oh,
where you literally just
yeah.
like turned
I know
away and
exactly
just
what you're
got
talking about. Yeah.
the fattest paw at that
Oh,
because I
what?
caught it in the backfield and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, what game was that? Two or three? Um, one of the two. But yes, that also you're correct. Thank you. Because I still to this day don't know how I did
I
that.
don't understand how you did it.
It was the
Like,
stupidest thumber I've ever. Like it was so gross. It started at like my nose, and then it dropped and like cut three different times down to like my kneecap, and I was just like I was essentially like and I don't know, sick. So like I would submit that, but like consciously I don't remember how I did it. So in my
yeah,
head that's like
no idea,
that's
no
like
idea.
yeah, but in not top 10. I don't know if I told you this story. We were in the gym a couple months ago now. Um,
Was it when you grip locked the
I
frisbee
did,
and threw
yeah,
it
that's
5
it. Yeah, so when
straight
I
right?
directly right, it maybe went 5 feet forward, the rest of the way into the wall. That's my not top 10 submission. I've never
Yeah, that's
grip
fair.
locked like that before, I think ever, which is hilarious. And it was a
I've
dump switch. It
definitely.
was a dump
I was gonna
switch
say,
game too, so I
yeah.
dumped and went
Oh
straight to the
yeah, and you're
sideline.
out straight out, and you're like, I deserve this. I should go
Uh-huh.
run a lap right now.
Yeah.
Like jog it off. Oh yeah, that's good. Um, but yeah, I think we should call it a night.
Oh, it's past our
And
bedtimes.
yeah, let's get some sleep before Wisco.
Yeah,
Uh,
so what's coming up? Obviously when you guys are listening to this, you will also be ready to be playing Wisconsin.
yeah, we will see y'all there.
Mhm.
Depending upon how much we actually figure stuff out in the next few days, we may or may not have a legitimate microphone for tent talks, or it might be us very poorly recording things on our cell phones, which feels great for the pod.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Very fitting. But we'll see. We'll see. Everyone get ready for some tent talks. Maybe a what's in your bag segment
Yep.
might be starting up. Outside of that, dude, let's just the season's here.
Yeah, dude.
Um, I'm pumped.
I'm excited.
We will try and get a really fun guest depending upon how the tournament shakes out and what teams do well, etc.
Yes. Yep.
That's one of those things if it can't be in the works because we don't know how the tournament's going to play out.
Right.
And kind of in the USA Guts pod ilk of like trying to get someone from the winning team or someone from the finals, whoever that may be. So we're going to kind of wait until the tournament itself. But yeah, next Thursday we will have our Wisco recap
Yep.
episode, and then just back into some normal Bag Zone episodes for that before we get prepped for the IFT.
Sick.
Brandon, you got any other closing remarks?
It's time for bed.
It's time for bed.
Yeah, it's
All
time
right,
for bed.
everyone. As always, go get it.
Go get it.